From 2021 to 2025, the British Institute of Human Rights has been working with community groups from across the UK to support them as they work to address social justice issues using human rights law.
It was really collaborative work. And it was
really enjoyed being part of it today.
It felt like we were leading the way, so it wasn't like we were being told what to do.
Without them, we wouldn't have been able to make this resource ourselves.
It might seem a really small project in the grand scheme of things, but it really is impactful for 20 self-advocates who are currently involved. It's really making a difference.
The programme runs on an annual cycle, which includes free awareness-raising workshops for community groups, the opportunity to co-design a human rights support solution with BIHR, and a launch event to share our work with the world. As the programme comes to a close, we're looking back on the impact it's had over the past 4 years and the impact we hope it will continue to have in the future. The work started in 2021 with a pilot programme organised by BIHR with support from our core funders. We delivered free online human rights awareness-raising workshops to 10 organisations and teamed up with 4 groups to co-design tailored human rights resources addressing issues they work on every day.
We co-designed a human rights support solution, and we had an internal consultation with all our colleagues across all our programs, services, including violence against women and girls service, welfare benefits and housing advice service, mental health service, and so on.
Some topics, and we had to think of pictures that would go well.
Postcards are great because when you go out, you can take one with you and show them that you've got rights as well.
Working with a women's centre in London, a Children's Rights Alliance in Scotland, a charity supporting survivors of torture, and an advocacy organisation, we created resources that could be used by people across the UK. We saw how the resources empowered the organisation that designed them, as well as other groups working on similar issues, to know and stand up for their rights.
We're working towards challenging the decision of public bodies. As soon as they see that email in that template with all of the articles and human rights and how it's violating their rights, within like a maximum of 2 days, they come back with a positive kind of answer. So we haven't had to go to the court.
So it was important that we got copies of these postcards so that we could use them in general discussions and support to our members so that they could feel fully engaged and politically active.
Following the success of our pilot programme, the Bearing Foundation kindly funded the programme to run for 3 more years. With their support, we were able to work with over 29 small community and voluntary groups from across the UK. In 2023 and 2024, we held 19 free online awareness-raising workshops, reaching 237 people. In these sessions, we talked about how the Human Rights Act protects everyone in the UK, explored some relevant rights for the groups that we worked with, and shared top tips for how to raise a human rights issue in interactions with public bodies.
It is essential you go to this session as you will learn valuable information in your role as a carer in securing your rights.
This session made me realise we can all ensure human rights are respected, and I have the power to challenge public authorities when they aren't.
I will now use human rights on a daily basis.
And we co-produce 10 human rights resources with organisations working across a range of issues, including refugee and migrant support, health and disability, self-advocacy, poverty, housing and women's empowerment. These took many different formats and designs, tailored to suit the needs of each organisation, from online guides packed with practical tools like letter templates and flowcharts, pocket-sized leaflets containing essential information about key human rights, and even an easy-read game to help people learn about their rights in an interactive way.
British Institute is actually taking us to the next level, which is the partnership that is working and creating the resource for those communities that have been misrepresented.
We have been working now with our local hospital universities to work out what impact it can have.
Brilliant kind of learning experience where we kind of ended up with a guide that was really tailored to the needs of parents and parent advocates.
The resources have been and continue to be shared far and wide with civil society, community groups and in policy work both nationally and internationally, with one of the community groups joining BIHR to give evidence at the United Nations in Geneva on the implementation of human rights law in the UK.
And I'm really glad to be here at Geneva today presenting evidence in person about the intersectional experiences of
We've had a great time today here at the Houses of Parliament for Human Rights Day 2024. We've met with some fantastic people, we've made some great connections, and we're so grateful to the British Institute of Human Rights for inviting us to here today and working with us to co-produce this fantastic guide.
Coming to Parliament today and speaking, I think, could really do a lot of work.
We hope that the information provided and the resources created will continue to serve as both tools and inspiration to empower people all across the UK to speak up for human rights every day. The resources can be downloaded for free from BIHR's website by visiting bihr.org.uk/community resources.
The Human Rights Act is clearly really important. So I'd say the takeaway message that I'd like everybody to think about today is the fact that human rights are the basic rights that belong to all of us simply because we're human.
We're busy planning what's next in our work with communities. To be the first to hear about future programmes, sign up to our e-news to get regular updates on BIHR's work.